so I can understand it fully, appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me. Yeah, wait, I think I'll last a bit longer. Find another reason to breathe this air. And now we made for ourselves. This won't be the last time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me. Yeah, I knew it when I met you. I'm not the only one who's alone. Find me soon and take me home. I knew it when I saw you. I'm not the only one hanging on. Tie me to someone who will love me. Oh, never in my life did I wanna see you more than this. And every time you're lost, I wonder if you know you're missed. I'm breathing when I can, and I only hope you're watching this. I hope you know that I exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me. Yeah, I knew it when I met you. I'm not the only one who's alone. Find me soon and take me home. I knew it when I saw you. I'm not the only one hanging on. Tie me to someone who will love me. Somebody pick me up. Somebody find my love. Somebody pick me up. Somebody pick me up. Somebody find my love. Somebody pick me up.
Hello, everybody. This is Scott Roberts with the Explorer Alliance Presents the OpenGOTO community. And today with me is Jerry Hubbell, Vice President of Engineering for Explorer Scientific, and Tyler Bowman, Tech Support at Explorer Scientific here in Springdale, Arkansas. We are all kind of a little sleepy, a little zombified, but we had a great time at the Global Star Party number 15. You're also watching, I think, it's the 89th show that we've done here for the OpenGOTO community. And and it doesn't seem like that long ago when we started, but we sure have learned a lot about sharing broadcasts and getting the word out and doing outreach to a global community to teach them more about astronomy and what other astronomers do. I am, I am really excited to bring out the next Global Star Party on Tuesday, and I hope to bring some new stuff to the game. So I'm not going to give it away right now, but we'll see if I can get the people on that I'm looking to get. So anyhow, let's go ahead and jump over to Tyler, okay? And I've asked Richard Grace to come on the show because he wants to show his Mars But Rich, Tyler, what's been the? You said that the uh,
You're breaking up, Scott, and then there's a lot of background noise where I'm at. And it's kind of hard to hear.
okay. I said that you said that the forums are kind of quiet.
They're extremely quiet. Everybody must have been staying up all night and paying and watching our show because I heard that you had a great 10-year-old speaker that
Yes.
I missed out on because I was having a frustrating time with my equipment. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. But the forums, they're very tired from watching the Mars opposition. I guarantee it. So that means Friday at 5:00 p.m. Central Standard Time, it's gonna poof, and Jerry's just gonna hit the mute button, and I'm gonna have to take over. That's what's gonna happen.
That's right. I don't know.
But no, some exciting news on our side. I'm finalizing all the little intricacy details as far as our astrophotography contest, which I got to get with you, Scott, on some rules and regulations of what you would like. But I'm trying to get a deadline this week. That way we can get the contest rolling. So if you are not an Explore Alliance membership, member yet, free to join up, participate in the contest, win some prizes. That's the whole goal.
Yes.
We want to see what you can do with some stuff with Explore scientific equipment. That's the whole purpose and the goal of this is just to bring the community together and see what you can do and produce an image. I mean, because AstroBiz produced some great images with ours. Even in Explore First Light, Newt, he's able to produce a great image. Just being a Newtonian, being an entry-level grade Newtonian, anything is possible. And that's what we're trying to promote here at work. And that's what I want to do and try to get everybody to do along. But other than that, we've been extremely busy. I've done 4 videos today, and I'm tired.
Tired.
Not as tired as you two, but I'm tired.
First Light series videos.
We did the 127 max suit off cast grain, the 80 millimeter today, and the 10-inch Dob. The next part of the series is going to be more of the technical side of if, oh my Lord, my collimation is out of collimation, how do I fix it?
Right.
We're going to do that. I'm thinking if we get them and we get these individuals that like to be technically handy and take things apart, learn how things tick, I might do that as well. I don't know yet because that's a long video.
Right.
But that's all the cloudy nights has been pretty quiet. Reddit's been extremely quiet. YouTube, hopefully we're going to start picking up some.
That means people are out observing. That's right.
Everybody's out observing. We're going to do some changes on the Instagram page. So I'm excited for that to start coming around. So yeah, expect a lot of things coming around from us.
Yeah.
Be ready.
Right.
But that's it. I'm ready to off to me. Get to the beard. Just get off me. Get to the beard. He puts mine to shame. So.
Oh, get to the beard.
Get to the beard. The Astro beard. Get to the beard.
It's just all right. So that's
yeah.
All right. Well, cool. So Richard Grace is gracing our show today, and he wanted to show some of his Mars images. I think he was just going to send them to me, but who better to show an image than the person who took it? So, right?
Hey, thanks, Scott. Thanks for inviting me on for the afternoon show here. Let me get a share screen.
Now, this shot was done last night?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
And I had no idea how to work wavelets. I watched a little Astro Blender on some YouTube and figured out a little bit of wavelets, and that's what we came up with.
Wow.
What'd you shoot that
from
with?
last night's? That was with the old C8 from 1990 something probably.
Nice.
And
wavelets
it
are
wasn't
awesome.
collimated or anything properly because I had my ED80 set up all guiding, thinking somebody was going to come out flexing and bring some focal length last night for the Mars opposition, and I was really surprised that I wasn't competing against a 9 1/4 or a C11 or something much larger. So I grabbed it. I went out and swapped it out, but like I said, it was just kind of hand focused and didn't use the batten off mask. Still had the L Pro filter in, so it's what we got. And I'm happy. It's my best shot of Mars ever. I can actually make out the Olympus Mons. It is down here.
Oh, that's it.
That is it. That's the dark spot that's right next to it, and I believe that's the middle right there. And the polar cap definitely came out better. Ended up with a little red hue on this side, a little extra blue on that side.
Yeah.
And I tried a bunch of different stuff. I was using PixInsight before I started with the wavelets, and I didn't have that. But when I started doing the wavelets, I got so much more detail. So I went with that, and just figured I'd send it over to you before the show in case you wanted to show it. And again, thanks for the invite onto the show. Yeah.
Thank you very much. That's great. Ron Delvaux says that he did some Mars images. Look on his Facebook page at Delvaux Observatory. Jerry, maybe you want to bring that up and share your screen. Well, that's
Okay.
You're obviously going to try to keep imaging Mars, I would imagine. So, excellent. Well, let's see who's on with us today. I know where Richard Grace is. Space Time with Robert. He is watching. That's good. I can't read the other one. I get in the chat feed, I get red lettering on a dark blue background. It's almost impossible for me to read it. Nicholas Rocha is on. Tim Myers, Mike Wiesner. He said, "Hi all, upgraded our Soul Network data plan. Needed more data for these live shows, but they and the global star parties are so good, it was worth it." All right, dude. Tim Myers says, "Can I get an I'm tired?" Yes, we are tired, but it's a good kind of tired, We did we got in some excellent astronomy last night. Shailendra Sharma is watching. We have, let's see. Might have mentioned Tim Myers. He said he was on the road today driving to Kentucky, just over 3 hours of sleep. Oh my goodness. Be careful out there. Jim Norwood said, "The intro video makes me feel like my rocket ship in reverse." That's right. Dave Ing says, "Hello, everyone. Sorry I missed the star party last night. Oh, well, Mars will be back just as big and bright in, 15 years? No, it's going to look the same tonight, Dave, so get back out there. No excuse."
I've got Ron's picture, but I also wanted to show the picture I did last night based on the final capture I did. I want to do mine first because I don't want to be put to shame with Ron's picture. So I'm going to show mine first, and then we'll look at Ron's.
All right.
All right. So let me share real quick. Where's mine? I'm gonna go to the full screen and then I can bring it up. So that's actually Ron's. I didn't mean to.
Wow, that's really good.
Here's mine. Right.
It's the mini me version of Mars.
Right. So that's actually not the. I think I overprocessed that one. Let me show the other one. I think this one is a little better.
Mm-hmm.
I think. But again, I wasn't shooting with a planetary system setup, a planetary configuration on the telescope system. So that's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it.
That's your excuse. That's right.
But I was really happy with this because it shows you what you can do even with only 850 millimeters of focal length.
Right. You can see the rotation difference in Mars between these two shots, which is also interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Right. So that's so Ron's picture is awesome.
Yeah, it is. Good job. Good job. And then he's got some other, looks like some other shots there. I don't know if they are all
Yeah.
the same.
Well, he talks about this processing
I see.
and let's see, recent media. Let's look at this one. Let's
Mm-hmm.
see. That's cool. Let's see what the next one is. There's
Mm-hmm.
another one. That's kind of neat. That's
Right.
October 9th. And then that's what it looks like before processing. So you can see, like Richard
Oh,
said, Wavelets is an awesome process to bring
yeah.
out all the detail
Yeah.
with Registacks. I mean, it's just an amazing technology. How that works.
Now, exactly what is wavelet processing, Jerry? Do you know?
I know some about it. It's basically what it does is it filters out different scales of there's different scales of features that are in the image. Okay.
Okay.
Um, and so I think Registax uses 6 levels of features in terms of the image scale. So you've got the broader features like the background, the overall picture. But then as you scale it, as you go into the different levels, you get sharper and sharper features that you try to bring out and this is in a processing point of view. It's not in a technical point of view. This is what you do. You basically bring out the details at different levels
I
of
see.
the image,
You can see three
and you
levels.
balance it. Yeah.
Okay.
So uh, I've read about the math, but I don't recall or remember everything about it at all by any means. I'd have to go back and review it, but basically it's a way of really bringing out specific scale features in the image and balancing them to where you can do this sharp. And it's amazing technology. It's just an amazing process. Registax is a great tool. People that want to try it out and see what it looks like. I could actually demonstrate it here in a little bit if you're interested in showing that, Scott.
I think so. Yeah, for anyone that hasn't seen it done.
Yeah, I can easily do that with the Mars pictures that we have here. I think. Let me work on that a little bit.
Some imaging of Mars. He said Jennifer also got some good data of Mars. That's great. Paul Brierly, hey guys, nice to watch some astronomy. Mars is looking very H.G. Wells. I'm watching this while imaging the lobster claw region in Cassiopeia. Very cool. Yeah, you can see the. I mean, just from the reading, what people are doing, that they're doing imaging while they're watching our show is kind of cool. You get a very global feel out of that. That's for sure. So Jerry, you're going to do a little image processing demonstration for us.
Yeah, give me about 3 minutes to get it set up, and then I'll do it. I think I'm gonna do it on the observatory computer because I've got direct access to the image files there, and I can show it.
All right. Well, in the meantime, Richard Grace can tell us how he image process his image.
Okay. Let's see here. Share screen. This one. Okay, let's get rid of that.
I like that racy seat that you have, Richard.
Thank you. It's
Yeah.
fairly comfortable. I'm not sharing the screen because I didn't hit the button yet.
Not yet.
Aha! It gets me once again. No matter how many times I do it. Share screen. Yes, I would like to. No, no, no. Do you really want to?
Yes, I really want to.
Let's see if we can't make this a little bigger. Okay, here. I have already. This is already where I left it and saved it.
Okay.
But let's just go with if you start knocking down these sliders, you start seeing things get fuzzier. kind of see every time I snap off of it,
Oh, I see. Yeah.
it gets a little bit. So, and it all depends apparently on your actual image size. Or I'm not, like I said, I learned this literally an hour before the show started.
Really?
So I did just watch a YouTube video on it, but I saw most people running curves, something, that the higher you went up, kind of the more you seemed to add. And oh, I got this one all the way maxed out. But yeah, you got to really play with it because apparently different focal lengths or different sizes or different planets kind of all take their own little coercing.
Okay.
So like I said, I did just learn this. And also Registax doesn't like I guess it's 16-bit files or something if you're trying to bring them in raw. I played for at least an hour trying to get it to debear things right, and it was kind of like, anyway, I'm not a planetary guy, but I'm trying to learn how to do it a little bit. And like I said, messing with this, I was stacking in auto stackered. I like the stacking in auto stackered better, but Registax was allowing me to bring it in. It was deburying it, doing it along with it. And I said, you just kind of play with these sliders a little bit. And this, you can hit these buttons here and they add a little bit of denoise to the amount of wavelets that you're adding. I don't even know what to explain what they're called, to be
Well, I'm
completely
looking.
honest.
I'm looking at the definition of wavelet, and it says it's a mathematical function useful in digital signal processing and image compression. The use of wavelets for these purposes is a recent development, although the theory is not new. The principles are similar to those of Fourier analysis, which was first developed in the early part of the 19th century.
Yeah, just
very-
know if you push them a little too far, you kind of realize it. And I just was messing with each one, and you see something going on there, but you kind of got to just move them all up. Yes. I sorry, I was just reading the chat here.
Right.
Yes. He was saying some of the bottom ones can do some nasty stuff to your image.
I can wipe
Yeah.
out the image, I guess. Let's see what happens when you apply those.
Yeah, it's basically applied when I move this slider, and as soon as I let off the mouse, it's applied.
I see.
So, like when you take this one all the way down on one, boom, fuzzy. See it? Bring it back, sharp, sharper. Like I said, I mean, I don't know what diameters, pixel ratings, but it definitely has something to do with it. It depends on what
Sure.
yeah.
Well, it looks like
I'm definitely not the best person to teach this.
you have to play with this stuff and learn more about it, because there is a lot of math behind these things. So
Yeah, and I'm good at math, but I still need to know what the variables are before I can do anything with it. And yeah, it's fun to play with, especially once you get it working right. So I mean, I managed to figure it out in an afternoon, so it's not horrible. Not to say that's a show in an image. It's not. But it's what we got from just last night, and a little bit of work in the afternoon and learning a program and everything. I'm happy. Well, I know one thing for
Happy?
sure. I have Jupiter and Saturn opposition, plenty hundreds of gigabytes of data that are going to get chunked back in here, and then at some point I'm going to learn how to derotate. But I said I'm a little more towards deep sky. Probably said something when I came to the party last night with an 80 millimeter scope on the mount.
right.
Taking 10-minute subs. So yeah, and afterwards last night actually, because I'm always mentioning Uranus out there, I managed to definitely get a good shot with 2 moons, and I could see 2 more. I was like, that's just cool, because that's as many moons as I ever saw on Jupiter. So, and it's so much further away. It makes me happy.
Mike Wiesner says he uses Linkios on my Mac. It has Wavelet Processing, but I've never tried it. I'm going to now. Thanks. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, wavelets are awesome. Right now, so I'm going to show, instead of showing my Mars, I'm going to show the moon image that I did, that I showed the other day, how I process that. I'm in the middle of processing one of them. It takes a little bit of time, so I was hoping that you guys would talk again for a couple more minutes to get me to the point where I can demonstrate the wavelet stuff.
We could talk about Jerry, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
And
The parties are getting a lot better, man. Like, I mean, they were always good, but I don't know. The regulars are showing up and things are happening. And I don't know if everybody else feels it, but I feel like the music last night at the beginning was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, like that was great.
Craig playing harp. I didn't know how well that was coming across, you know, because on my computer, you know, when she got kind of those deep tones, it would cut out a little bit, you know, so.
A lot of times with the digital mic, just like anything else that's digital,
Yeah.
say you're at 16 bits of amplitude or whatever you want to call it, if you don't make the cut, it don't make the cut. And then
Right.
that's where, you know, if somebody's mic's like, you know, way loud, the parts are getting, you know, too part. But if you're too far away from your mic, you know, you'll hear somebody just fine, and then they back up just that little bit, and then it's just, you know,
It's just gone.
choppy because it's not making that bit rate cut, which, you know, it's again getting into technical jargon that I don't
Right.
as soon as I see the black screen and code go up, that's where I lose it. I mean, you know, I wasn't a computer guy. I built my first computer when I was like 35 or something. So, I mean, I don't have a background in computers or anything like that. My background in this guy comes from first trying to learn navigation. So, I mean, anybody who has been working with computers all their life has, you know, at least 2 up on me.
Yeah. Well, I remember as a young guy in high school, you know, people are just, this is 1976, 77. And I remember telling my best friends, I'm never going to get one of those computer things. That I'm not going to have one in my house, you know.
Back then you had to make a special room for it.
To carry the tubes in, right? So, no, but they were expensive. I mean, they were just so expensive back then, you know. People were spending thousands of dollars, and they didn't do much, okay? They didn't do much. I had several friends that would show me some sort of program that they had written or something that was on like a cassette tape, and I would watch it move like a box back and forth, and I go, and that's it? Of course, I didn't see the power in it. And boy, was I wrong.
So many things have come. I mean, I guess it was all about the processing power or whatever that had to get to a certain level for certain things to be able to be done. And like you know, last night I was showing I pulled 2,000 frames from the backyard over one USB 3 line while controlling the mount and everything in 20 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's amazing to me that you could do that.
Right. So how's it coming there, Jerry?
He's still muted.
Yeah. The problem, I started the process and it bombed out on me, so I started it over again. So I can share it and start showing what I'm doing here.
What you're doing?
So let me do that.
People like it when we bomb out.
Yeah, that's right.
I called in and got my 10 today, Scott.
Human.
So the first thing I did is I loaded the video of the moon image that I took the other night, and you have to set the alignment points. And what I found is that you don't need a huge number of alignment points, especially if you've got a good steady image. You can see I think this is the 22-day-old moon.
Okay.
from October 9th that I did the process on. So the first thing is you do an alignment, and you can pick whatever frame you want to align on as the reference frame. So you can see here as I move this slider, why is there only 150 frames? I guess that's fine. We'll see what we can get out of this. I've got other videos that are longer. I think this is one of the shorter ones I did. So, but this is fine. Well, it'll speed things up. So I'm gonna just, you can pick a frame and then you can set the alignment points. And you can see, I don't know if you can see, there's a bunch of dots all over. So then you hit the alignment and it'll go through and align the frames. We'll see what we can get out of these. This is just a 155 frame video. I've got other videos that are 500 and 1,000 frames. And Sharp Cap is nice because it puts this nice timestamp at the top of the frame for you. If you have that selected. I gathered these with Sharp Cap. So it took that. So now there's two ways to set limits. One is with this limit setup where you can get the best quality frames, the best percentage quality. But I set that to 100% and then I hit limit. And then what I do is I go to the show stack graph, which shows you the basically the order. It orders the frames from the worst to the best quality. Okay. So this is what you're seeing right here. This is the chart of the worst quality images and the best quality. And so what I do is I select the better quality images by blocking out the other ones. And this also sets the number of frames that you're going to stack. So down here at the bottom, it's probably hard to see. Right now, that's set to 26 frames to stack. I'm gonna go a little bit. I'm gonna go to 30 frames. Now, this isn't what I did with the images the other day. This was a longer video, but we'll see what we can get out of this. So I don't know why this is. So just did this before. When I set this, see this progress bar down here? It says 34%. I'm not sure why it started the progress bar because typically you have to hit start before it does anything. I don't know not sure why it's doing that, but let me hit stack. I don't know if it's gonna bomb out. Oh, there it goes. Started back to 0. Let's see what it does here. So it's stacking 31 frames. There it goes. All right, so this is where it grabs the best pieces out of each image, out of the 31, and puts it all together into one image. All right, so that's what we're showing here. So now, this is the composite stacked image, okay? And I'm gonna close this. So now we can go to Wavelet Processing, okay? So the first thing I do is I hit View Zoomed. And what this allows you to do is select a point on the screen to look at the composite image that was stacked. Okay, you can see there's Copernicus. All right, and I'm not sure where so when you do a preview, it cuts out a section of this, which we'll zoom up on and show you what it does the preview with the wavelet filtering. With the planetary images like Mars, it's small enough to where you can see it fully processed, but with the moon, it cuts out a piece. The first thing I'm going to do is just lighten this up a little bit. The colors are off a little bit.
It's green.
But I'm gonna lighten it up a little bit. You can see this little area here lightened up.
Yeah.
You can see Copernicus is part of that light. So that's up at the top corner. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit do all, and that'll process the whole image with this stretch, just a little bit of a stretch. And then what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to do the wavelet filtering now, and we can see what kind of detail we can bring out. And what I typically do is I start with layer 1, and I basically position layer 1 as more. See that? See how I brought that out?
Oh yeah.
So I start with layer 1, and then I ramp it down. Then I go to layer 2, and I don't do quite as far for layer 2, and then I go to layer 3 and do not quite as far. This is my standard technique for the lunar images. But then you start to get artifacts. But you can see all of a sudden I've got these details.
Yeah.
And so this is my standard thing, is to create these to position these sliders this way. The other thing that's important is to use linear and Gaussian as the that's what I found to be the best process. There's other defaults here, but it acts weird. There's other things that you can play with that way, and but it really distorts it really bad. So let me really push this hard, and you'll see how it really gets bad. It really starts to get distorted. I mean, it looks cool right there. Let me do it. Let me do a do all, and then I'll zoom up on different parts of the moon. You can see how this, I've pushed this really hard in terms of the sharpening.
Yeah.
You can
But
really
look,
see it down here. So let me move down here to Tycho. See how it's really, really hard,
yeah.
really contrasty. It's way too much. So I'm going to back off, back to here again, and then I'll do a do all. And then you'll see Tycho improve here. So that's not quite as bad. I'm going to zoom up even closer. I'm going to create this magnification, the 4. So that's really, and then I'm going to move it to, there's a straight wall. So this crater right here is about 3 miles in diameter, 5 kilometers. Okay, can you see that?
Yes.
So that's similar. So even this small video, the turned out pretty nice. So there's Tycho, okay. And you can see this is a color image. See the color artifacts in there?
A little bit. Yeah.
So I typically, I could push the saturation on this, but it gets to be ugly. It's not, I've got to process this in a better way, but this has not been color balanced or anything. So I'd have to do some other processing to bring out the features in color. The other thing, let's see what else. I guess, so this is how I process this. This is basically how I process. I don't know if I would push it this hard even. I'm going to back off a little bit on the sliders. But and then I'll show what it looks like unprocessed, and then so that's what it looks like unprocessed, okay? And then this will show you what the wavelets do for you. Right there. See how you can see all these little hummocky parts?
Oh yeah.
And then also here on let's see here. Well, I think I'm zoomed in really hard. Let me back off a little bit and get to a little nicer, brighter. So I can also, oh, is it doing it again? So I'm gonna brighten this up a little bit more. And then I'm gonna do all. So that's the gist of this. I mean, you can play around with it, but just be, the one thing I hate to do, you can push these sliders so hard that you get a bunch of noise. So like, I don't know if you can see any noise. This really is a really smooth I think because I took it in 24-bit RGB mode, so you can see these craters are really nice here.
Oh, they're
Um,
beautiful.
you can see a lot of detail. Let me
Yeah.
zoom up again. Oh, so that gives you an idea. You can see some noise in here, and there's a denoise thing. So let me hit that denoise, and then you can see. Let me do it all again. You can denoise it a little bit and make it a little smoother. I don't like those color artifacts though. That's kind of ugly. But you can turn this into a monochrome image. I'm going to denoise it just a little bit more and hit do all again. But that's the basic process.
Yeah. That's very cool.
Yeah.
We have a question here. I was going to type out the answer, but someone asked, is there a difference between a Barlow lens and a focal extender? And, or if they're the same, and they basically will do the same thing. They are both devices to increase magnification, but the difference between a Barlow lens, okay, a true Barlow, if you add more space between the Barlow lens and the focal plane, the image gets bigger. It just continues to get larger, okay? So if you had a 2x Barlow, but you kept backing off the focal plane away from the Barlow lens itself, it can go up to 3 times or 4 times. And the lenses are probably really not designed, they're optimized for 2x, okay? So that's one issue, okay, as you start to separate those lenses away from the focal plane to get greater magnification, you're going to lose some image performance. Versus a focal extender, it's a telecentric type of multiplier, and no matter how far back you go, the magnification is going to stay the same. So that's the basis of that. And so if you buy a 2x focal extender, no matter what that spacing is, it's going to remain at 2x. A 2x Barlow lens, on the other hand, as you change spacing, it will change magnification. And that's the difference. Any other comments?
I just zoomed up to not show full image, and it shows you the overall look of the moon with this processing. It looks pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
So did that give you some tips there, Richard, to try out?
Yes, absolutely. I'll take anything I can get at this point. And, I'm still at the point where it comes in faster than I can really keep it. Sometimes the learning curves are steep, and you kind of bite off what you can chew and progress forward, and do what you can do. But I mean, I guess it all depends on what inspires you, or what you're inspiring to do.
Right.
I just remember the first time taking pictures through an Explore Scientific eyepiece, because it was the best one I had, better than the ones that came with the scope, and that was my first biggest upgrade that I ever made, was the 8.8 82 degree.
Oh,
And
okay.
I had my Note 9 strapped to that with the little S Pen, sitting there, because then you can take your pictures with if you have one of the Note phones, there's a button on the pen, and it'll snap the pictures, so you don't have to bump the scope when you. And somebody also said you can do voice activation of that. I think Dusty Haskins recommended those. So very good idea. But just the first time you take a picture of anything, and you just want to show it to somebody else. That's my inspiration. I was like, oh man, that's cool. I want somebody else to see that.
Right. Well, it's cool because you get the opportunity to get, some confirmation of whether you're moving in the right direction or not. And it also, everybody has an innate desire to share, these things, especially if you're an amateur astronomer. Astrophotography is a very powerful outreach tool, and and you're always going to get somebody that's going to give you a few more tips to keep pushing the envelope on making your image better and better.
The bar is set quite high by some of the incredible astrophotographers out there and the Hubbell.
Right.
I mean, you can really only do so much, but I mean, I think that the guys who are not, haven't been doing this for a year, or whatever, that they've set their mind to try and do, it shows what you could do. Some of these guys in a couple of months, it's just amazing work. And, don't expect the first ones to be, APODs. You know what I mean? I don't expect to get any APODs anytime soon.
Really?
But,
No.
I just enjoy doing it. So that's pretty much my thing on that. I mean,
Well, to me, it's just
continue to do it.
just pushing my personal ability to get better and better, and compare me to myself, basically. As long as I'm getting better, then I know I'm getting there. If I hit a hard spot where, and skills and knowledge, you have to push your equipment, and you have to understand when you get to a certain level that your limit is your equipment, but you have to be able to recognize that. And it's hard sometimes to know that until you get your skills and knowledge up to a certain level. Then you say, well, my stinking optics, or it's my camera, or it's my filter, or whatever it is, you'll understand I've reached the limit and I need to push it further by buying a new piece of equipment. That, to me, is when you know to buy a piece of equipment.
Yeah.
You just don't throw money at the problem and expect it to get better. That never works.
Yeah. You want to try to squeeze every last ounce of performance out of what you got,
And that's kind of what I like doing about these full disc lunar images, because I know that I'm pushing the limits of the equipment, trying to get as much resolution as I can, and compare it to these people that do high resolution lunar imaging. And myself, when I do with my video camera and the 3 or 5 times power mate on there, I know that I can get much better images, but I just want to see what I can get out of this setup with a deep sky setup. You don't know until you try.
There's something to be said about having an observatory, and there's something to be said about having your scope incredibly close to you too, because I mean, I know changing out to a Barlow when it's somewhere else is not something you're going to do while you're on a star party. Versus, I mean, I dewired everything and changed the scope in the middle of the night last night. I mean, so
and
to each their own for whatever your purposes are, because sometimes you don't even know what they're going to be, I guess.
Right. Yeah, I was impressed how fast you changed out the system. So, and it was good because, we didn't have a long focal length live image up, at all. So
I knew Murphy was going to
nice, a little bit bigger. Well, gentlemen, we've been on for a little while already, and really appreciate you being on. We'll be back on tomorrow at 4 o'clock. And until that time, as Jack Horkheimer says, keep looking up, and we will see you soon.
Thanks for inviting me on, Scott.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you, man.
No problem. Anytime.
you.